What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing off my PSP game collection. Mostly, these are pretty much all JRPGs, right? Some of them are semi-JRPGs, but you know, it is what it is. Also, because my retro game hunting advice video was age restricted because I swore too much. I did that, not YouTube. Nobody saw it, so I'm just gonna, at the end of the video, I'm gonna give my advice for people who are interested in the retro game hunting, hobby. Obviously going to stores and stuff, not shopping online, right? So yeah, first I'm gonna show off some of the games. Some of the games I'm missing the cases or the UMDs, but you know what? It is what it is. So first one is Kingdom of Paradise. This is an action JRPG with a wuxia, theme to it, right? The game is pretty cool if you played it, right? Not a lot of JRPGs have the Chinese wuxia look to them, right? And this is an action JRPG for the PSP, right? If you're a Suikoden fan or if you're a fan of wuxia stuff, check this game out. Next is Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles, which has like a 3D remake of Rondo of Blood, I think is what the game is called, and this game also comes with Symphony of the Night, the PS1 game, right? So yeah, this is pretty cheap if you can find it. So it's worth getting, right? If you're a Castlevania fan. Next is an underrated JRPG in my opinion. That's Valhalla Knights. This is like one of the first PSP games I had from back in the day. It's basically wizardry, but if you could, it's wizardry, but it's a 3D action game, right? You're still exploring dungeons, and you create your own characters, right? And you create your own party members. Unfortunately, with the first game, you only can pick human, right? But what was cool about this game is that you had different weapons. You can equip armor and would change your character's appearances, right? You can even make your own party members, right? You had the halflings, the elves, the dwarves, which the dwarves in this game look like Native Americans, right? And you had these guys, which are they control robots, right? Unfortunately, my UND doesn't work for whatever reason. I don't know what I should do. I also have Valhalla Knights 2. I don't know what happened to my case for it, but yeah. If you can get Valhalla Knights, and the problem with the game is that some of the quests are pretty vague on where you're supposed to go. It's usually you have to go to a specific part of the dungeon to trigger a cutscene to clear quests and stuff, because it's just wizardry where you accept requests, go into the dungeon, stuff like that, right? There was a third game for the PS Vita, which I've never got to play, and there was a Valhalla Knights game for the Wii, which I do own, right? And I might review that game at some point. I just need to get a new, Wii nunchuck, because my current one, the batteries exploded in there, so I'm like, I don't feel like cleaning battery acid. I'd rather just, get a new one. Next is Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Tag Force 5, and it pretty much, it's like an open world game, and it's not necessarily JRPG, but it has that feel to it. And because I lost the case for Tactics Ogre that is cleaned together, I'm using this, for my Tactics Ogre. Which this game was $20, and the fact that they're they're re-releasing it for the PS4 and PS5, and fucking charging people full price is is crazy if people buy buy that shit, because you can just buy the PSP. It would probably be cheaper just to buy a PSP and that game than to buy the remaster, which is not going to look that better anyway. So yeah, this is probably one of my rarest JRPGs for the PSP, and that is Breath of Fire 3 for the PSP. This is like a European copy. I was surprised as fuck when I bought this and it actually worked on my PSP, which I beat this game, right? I don't have the PS1 version, though I do have the PS1 version of Breath of Fire 4. This game is great, but the fucking desert scene in this game was horrendous. But overall, this is a great game. Worth playing if you haven't played it, right? Great series. Next are some of my Western RPGs. You got Lord of the Rings Tactics. Paid $7 for this. I haven't played too much of the game, honestly. But it's the thing where, like, oh, I felt like getting, like, you know, I was watching the Lord of the Rings movies at the time. I'm like, oh, Lord of the Rings RPG, I'll get it. Next is one of the earliest PSP games have is Untold Legends: Brotherhood of the Blade, which is pretty much a dungeon crawler on the PSP, where you pick like one of 4 classes. Pretty much plays like Diablo, if you ever played Diablo. I actually like this game. I don't think I've ever beaten it, though. Maybe I should go back and do that. Alright. Next is, this game gives me, like, this game, I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I'm a little pissed off from this game, because this game, sometimes the game works on my PSP, and sometimes it doesn't. This is Dungeon Siege: Throne of Agony, right? My opinion, not as good as Untold Legends, but you know, I don't know. There's like 3 characters to choose from. You have like the wizard, the male warrior, and like I think it's like a female assassin. Right? It has cool like comic book art. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a review for that at some point. Next is a game you'll probably seen, Lunar Silver Star Harmony by Game Arts and XC Games. This is the PSP remake of Lunar Silver Star Story, which if you look to the right, you'll see that I have the PS1 version. I kind of, it's the thing where I can't decide, do I want to play this version or that version. That version is way more expensive, so I should probably, like, you know, not play that one as much. This one does have updated graphics, but I kind of like the old English dub, which there is a new English dub that they voiced in this game, where they got Yuri Lowenthal, the voice actor of Sasuke Uchiha. And Yuri Lowenthal is, like, you know, famous voice actor. You know, I don't know. I kind of like the older voice acting from the original, right? But yeah, if I do review Lunar Silver Star Harmony, it's probably going to be the PSP version. And next we're going to do the Final Fantasy games. Okay. This is Final Fantasy 1. Here. Final Fantasy 2, which I beat both of these versions. Final Fantasy 4, the complete collection. Haven't beat this game yet. This comes with like 2 other Final Fantasy 4 games with the same level of graphics. It's like the After Years and what was it? The sequel. I forget. There's like I'm pretty sure this comes with 3 games. I could be wrong. I think yeah. So I got Crisis Core Final Fantasy 7. I got this for my birthday. My boss at work for my 16th birthday, I think it was 16th or 15th, gave me a gift card and I bought this game. And I told him that and he's like, oh yeah, let me borrow it sometime. Which, this, I don't know if this copy works, because look how scuffed it is. Right? Oh, but yeah, I think, I might get the new Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't know. If I see it for cheap, maybe. I think I can get that version working again. So, yeah. Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lions, beat this game. This game, holy fuck. I'll say this, if, don't even think of playing Tactics Ogre unless you can beat this game. Because this game's hard as hell, but it's way easier than Tactics Ogre, which I beat this game, and holy crap, was this tough, right? Which this is like basically kind of like a remastered version of the original. They added like new voice acting. They added some cutscenes. They made the dialogue more Game of Thrones Game of Thrones esque, right? So yeah, this is a good best version of the game probably. Next is Final Fantasy Dissidia, right? And Final Fantasy Dissidia 12, which they added some new characters like Lightning, some Final Fantasy 8 characters, and Kain from Final Fantasy 4. And I think this guy's from Final Fantasy 14. I don't know. I haven't played this one yet. This game, I put like 60 hours in and couldn't beat it, man. Like, what the hell? How long is the game supposed to be? Next game is Phantasy Star Portable 2. Cool game. I don't have the first one, but yeah, this game's pretty cool. It pretty much plays like the Phantasy Star game, the new generation or whatever. From that, like the one for the Xbox 360 and PS2. Yeah, like that one. Next is Shin Megami Tensei Persona 2 Innocent Sin. This I would love to review on the channel. My major problem with this game is like there's some really cool Persona, like the Persona art in this game. The character design for the Personas is what I'm trying to say. Look really cool, but none of that shit is in the game. So it kind of sucks that if you have like really shitty pixels of the Personas, and then if you want to look at like the artwork for those Personas, you have to look up online, like on the fucking wiki or whatever. So it's like makes me like not really into the game, but it is what it is. I paid like $35 for this. Yeah, and this was at Microplay, right? In Microplay, if you watch my video, which only one person did, and that comment, I'm sorry, whoever commented on that video, your comment got like shadow banned from YouTube, so I never read it. I'm assuming it was Kevin Street's comment. I have no idea. Yeah, I never read your comment. So if you could tell me what you commented, yeah, let me know. But yeah, like Microplay, if you live in Canada, is the best place for retro games, right? Because they'll not only do they always update they'll have like a section of the store where they'll have like the really rare games that they always update, but they sell the games for way cheaper than you would if you went to flea markets, retro gaming stores, whatever, right? But yeah, great game. Next, Legend of Heroes, A Tear of a Million. I don't remember what I paid for this game. Most of my PSP games, there's been very few PSP games where I paid more than like $40. Like, I usually pay like 20 to 40 for like PSP JRPGs, right? So I think I paid like around like 30 maybe for this one. I did a review for it. It was a decent game. Now this is my favorite JRPG for the PSP, and it's worth getting a PSP just for this game. And that's Brave Story New Traveler, right? This is by the same developer as Folktale, and they also made that Clash of Titans action game, which that as far as like games based off games based off movies, it wasn't too bad. But like, yeah, this is one of my favorite games for the PSP. It's worth getting a PSP just for this game. I paid like $60 for this game, right? And I would totally recommend it, right? It is a little short, but you know it's worth it. And there's like a movie, right? So I would check out the movie. But yeah, this is one of my favorite PSP JRPGs. So like my last one is Dragoneer's Aria, which I paid $35 for this game. This is like supposed to be one of the hardest games for the PSP, right? I don't know, the artwork for the what was cool about this game is that they had like cool art style for the character models, right? And like cool artwork. The game is apparently very grind heavy, but I don't know. I like the game, right? Yeah. So that's pretty much all my JRPGs. I am missing a couple, like Estonia. What was it called? Estonia Story. I think I have that game somewhere. And Warriors: The Lost Empire, which is another like wizardry style game, but as a 3D character action, dungeon crawler. So that's pretty much my collection. Now I'm going to go into my tips and tricks for people who want to get into retro gaming. This is for people who go to physical stores, right? So I'm just going to do like I'm not going to go into detail because this video is very long, but like I would say, first you want to look for the games that you're looking to get. You want to compile a list and then check online for the prices, right? To get a rough idea of what the games go for before you go to the stores and, overpay or underpay, right? It's always good to underpay, but never good to overpay, right? Second is that the best, obviously the best retro gaming stores are going to be stores that are in towns that have like thriving college communities, right? I don't know why that is. It just is. Okay, and third, you want to, when you go to these stores, right? You want to not look like you're a game collector, because you want to look like you're casual and you're just there to look around. Because if they think you're a game collector, they're gonna overcharge you. They're gonna overcharge you like hell, man. Especially if they, because they just assume game collectors are mostly flippers anyway, which is stupid. Because if you were gonna flip, you would either buy online or you would go to flea markets, right? Which I recommend going to flea markets too, right? Especially if you don't have retro gaming stores in town. There'll usually be a stall, or two in at a flea market, right? So yeah. Next, and this is very important, and especially do this if the games don't have prices. If this is if it's a store where they don't have the prices on their games, which a lot of these retro gaming stores do this, and they'll say because all the prices always fluctuate, right, week to week or day to day. Bullshit. It's so they can. It's so when they spot a game collector, they can overcharge you. So if the games do not have prices on them, do not ask for specific games, right? Go and check the shelves, right? And if they don't have the games you're looking for, ask, hey, do you have any more games of this genre for this system? And then they'll pull out the good shit from behind the shelf, right? That's why I said number one is you want to compile your list and memorize your games that you want, and remember the prices. Not just so if they're going to overcharge you, but that way you have your games memorized, and you don't also carry a list in the store, because if you carry lists in the store and you're looking at lists, maybe if you're on your phone and you're not, like, looking like you're just looking shit up, then they won't think you're a collector. But it's very important to memorize. It's very important to, like, memorize your lists and everything, and not to ask for specific games, because I've had this happen several times where, I ask for, like, a specific game, and I end up overpaying for the value of the games, right? That shit's happened to me a lot. And that's because these guys, they like to screw over game collectors, right? Yeah. So in summary, you want to compile, memorize your list to check prices. You do not want to look for. You want to try to make yourself look like a casual customer as possible, not a game collector. If the games do not have prices on them, you do not ask for specific titles, because yeah. And if they don't have the game you're looking for, you just you ask for, like I said, do you have any more games of this genre for said system or whatever, right? Yeah, so that's my list. Let me know if you guys have any tips for retro gaming hunting, right? What are the good stores? I know eBay is one of the crappiest ones. I went on eBay to check out the price of Suikoden 2, and it was like 400, 500 bucks. I'm telling you, I didn't pay, like, I paid like maybe like $250 for my copy of Suikoden. It was like somewhere between 200 $250, I can't remember, but yeah, like 400, 500, bullshit. Especially since the fucking HD collection's coming out. That's retarded. But yeah, that's it for